And then I'm going to give an email. I'm going to give you an email about how to pick up the classes in YouTube. I got to do that soon. So I'll get that together, have Todd send out to all you guys, okay? How to get all these recordings. Okay. All right.
Good. How are you? Kathy, this is my other hiking friends. Hi. Kathy, this is Janet. Kathy, nice to meet you. Is this your first one? No, I've done this before, but I didn't do it regularly. I need it. The stairs.
And do I know you? You look familiar.
Yeah, good to see you.
Yeah, good to have you.
Here, it's like no pyramids. You know, it says that.
Is that your least favorite pose?
Mine?
Yeah. Yeah. To be totally honest. Do you have blocks? Does anybody need a block? I've got kind of bit busy talking about concerts. Okay, maybe a leg crisscross, maybe a leg extended out, maybe sitting on a block, maybe heel to groin. And if you're able to get this heel up here, go for it. That's full bonus, okay? We're gonna pretend we're up against an imaginary wall. Have the back of the head, both shoulders, bottom rib, both cheeks, all lined up against that imaginary wall. Take a big full inhale out through your nose. Inhale through the nose, and with this exhale, think of fogging a window. Inhale through the nose, and with this exhale, let go of any stress you're dealing with. And now close the mouth. Inhale through the nose, and exhale through the nose. Inhale through the nose, fill those lungs. Maybe a little pause at the top of that breath. Slow down the exhale through the nose. Inhale through the nose, fill those lungs. Pause. Let's do it again. Inhale through the nose, fill those lungs. Little pause. And slow down the exhale, trying to find that emptiness, but don't go to the point where you're gasping for air. Immediately find that next inhalation so that you find your rhythm and flow of breath. Perfect for you today. With your next inhale, think of reaching through the crown of the head and lengthen. And on the exhale, think of opening up the chest and allowing the shoulders to roll down the back. Inhale, see if you can feel the ribcage expand wide, east and west. Exhale, try to funnel that waist and press the sit bones down into your mat and maybe in towards each other. That does activate your pelvic floor. Inhale, reaching through the crown and lengthen. Exhale, think broad collarbones. Inhale, rib cage expands. And exhale, think of lengthening that waist. And press the sit bones down and in. And hopefully you have found your breath. You have found your spinal alignment. We're going to try to keep and let the breath be your guide. Try to go deeper into poses, but if it hinders the breath, then you need to back out of it. That is something that will really help you. Take notice of the benefits of this breathing. It lowers your heart rate, it lowers your blood pressure, it lowers your cortisol levels. It also oxygenates your blood. More oxygen readily available to transport your nutrients, antibodies, and flush out toxins, nourishing, cleansing, and healing the body. Let's do the same thing with our thoughts, cleansing our thoughts, welcoming positive, pushing away negative. So perhaps welcoming happy memories over the last few days, let it drift in and out of your consciousness. Push away any worries, any concerns. We don't need that right now. I always like to start the practice by perhaps being grateful for living in this beautiful state of Colorado with our gorgeous mountains. How fortunate we are to live here. Push away any list in your head. Once again, you don't need that right now either. I always like to start the practice by bringing to mind at least one person that I'm grateful to have in my life, be dedicating this practice to that person, saying them good thoughts. Push away any thought of competition. Yoga is not about competition. And imagine as if the ventilation system in this room sucks up any negative energy, carries it out of the room, leaving us with an open, peaceful, grateful heart. Let's go ahead and change the crossing of the legs. Once again, find the balance on the sit bones. And then inhale, reaching through the crown of the head and lengthen. And on the exhale, rotate the chin towards that right shoulder. Inhale, bring it center. And exhale, rotate to the left. Inhale, center. Exhale, rotate. Inhale, center. See how far you can rotate to the left. One more time. Inhale, center. Exhale, rotate. Hold the rotation. And then think of softening the tissue in the neck and throat, and into your shoulder, maybe even up into your scalp. So your cervical vertebrae are designed to do this, to see where your muscles allow you to open to. Slowly to that starting position. And then as you exhale and tuck again, so you can feel that increased stretch at the base of the skull. Inhale, lift. And exhale, tuck. And inhale, left. Let's bring it center and rotate to the other side. And first hold shoulder and scalp. And with your next exhale, tuck the chin. Inhale, left. Exhale, tuck. Inhale, left. One more time. Exhale, tuck. Inhale, left. Bring it center like you're pouring water out the top of the head. Ear comes to shoulder. Inhale, left. Exhale, lower. This is lateral flexion of the neck. Inhale, bring it center. Exhale, lower. Be mindful that you're not shrugging the shoulder. Inhale, left. Exhale, lower. One more time. Inhale, left. Exhale, lower. So right ear to right shoulder, opposite hand pressing down into your mat. And then my right hand down, but I do think of letting my arm go heavy. I'm pushing down with the opposite hand into my mat, kind of getting that yin yang thing going on. Opening up those side neck muscles. And then gently release. Let's bring left ear to left shoulder, right hand pressing down. Place the left hand on your right temple area. Think of letting that arm just go heavy. And if it's too intense, remove that top hand, okay? Breathe. It's your scalene muscle group. And let's release. Now let's come into our lateral flexion of our spine. Inhale, bring that Left arm overhead as I glide my other arm out. Inhale left, exhale fold to the other side. Inhale left, exhale fold. Inhale left, exhale fold. One more time. Inhale left, exhale fold. And just hold this lateral flexion of the spine. So first of all, the elbow tends to want to come forward, which adds rotation. We don't want that. We want to try and get that side body. So think of that elbow over the ear. And then the other thing we tend to do is flop. Think of energizing. Now check in with your breath. Have you gone a little too far? You know, back out of it a little bit if you need to. Okay, sit bones should be staying down. And breathe. We're opening up that left lung. Inhale left, exhale fold to the other side. Elbow over the ear. Breathe. Reaching through that top arm. And then let's find our spinal rotation. This is where I'll face the same direction as you. I think it's easier for you to follow me. Just turn it around here. Left hand to right knee, right arm behind. Inhale, spine long. Exhale, find your rotation. Abdomen, ribs, chest, clavicle. Head is the last to turn. Check in, adding a little gentle pressure against that right knee with the left hand. That will add more depth to the opening, but does it add hindrance to your breath? And you know, don't do it. And then check in with your shoulders if they're down the back. And then inhale, bring it center. Exhale that breath away. Right hand to left knee, left arm behind. Inhale, spine long. Exhale, find rotation. Abdomen, ribs, chest, clavicle. Head is the last to turn. Maybe adding a little gentle pressure against that left knee. Check in with the breath. Shoulders down the back. And release. Let's come up to all fours. So we're going to go into our cat-cow. If you need a little extra cushion for your knees, all you have to do is kind of double fold that mat and we'll create a little extra cushion, okay? Hands in line with shoulders, knees in line with hips. We'll start with our gaze forward. There's our inhale. And then on the exhale, think of tucking that tailbone under, start rounding the spine and tuck your chin at the end for cat pose. And then reaching through the crown of the head and shine that heart forward for cow. And cat pose, think of the upper back lifting towards ceiling. And then in cow pose, think of shining that heart forward. Cat pose is spinal flexion. Cow pose, spinal extension. So this is another full range of motion of the spine, but in this plane of movement. So we open up all our joints to get started. Notice in cat pose, the sit bones face your mat. In cow pose, the sit bone should be facing the back wall, so it's also pelvic rock. Exhale, cat. With that next inhale, let's bring our right foot forward in between the hands. The knee is in line with ankle. Left forearm on right quad. And I start with my hand on my sacrum and I hinge my spine forward. I bring my gaze towards that gym wall. So here's our starting position. You only add on if you need to, right? Can you get the elbow to the outside of that leg? That's obviously more torso rotation. Hands together in prayer adds on a balance factor. And then we think of lining the elbows up with each other, shoulders with each other. Think of lifting abdomen maybe off of that quad. Get more shoulder and hip opening there, a little more core work. And then gently release, and we'll bring that right knee back. We'll bring the left foot forward. Right forearm on left quad, hands to sacrum. We hinge and we rotate. Choose to stay here or add on. Elbow coming to the outside, hands together in prayer. Line the elbows up, shoulders, lift the abdomen. And even checking into equal weight distribution of the hands pressing into each other. That's another little depth to the pose, right? And then gently release, and we'll bring that left knee back. And we'll bring that right foot forward. This time a full step in front of the hands. Have your hands on hips, they're balanced, side body long, lengthen. And then we're going to lean into this front leg a little bit. Quad presses back, tuck the cheek under. If it's okay to add a back bend, add it. Pigeon pose, hip opener and heart opener. By the way, if arms overhead bothers your shoulders, eliminate the long lever, put them down on your quad, but still think of this opening happening in our chest, okay? It's part of the pose. And then lowering the arms, we'll shift our weight back, coming on that front heel. Kathy's favorite pose. We're going to come into pyramid. Maybe you've got tight hamstrings and you want to glide leg to find your pose. That's an easier way to get to it. Hands can rest on shin, on blocks, or on your mat. Once you're in that, it's a fancy forward fold if you think about it. Tuck your chin and have your crown reaching towards the toes. And notice how that takes stress out of your neck. With that gaze down, check and see, have you shifted your weight over to your left hip? You don't want to do that. You want to try and keep those hips square. Bring that right knee back and that left foot forward. So remember, the foot's coming a full step in front of your hands from the all fours position. We check in that the hips are square, side body long and lengthen. Lean a little bit into the front leg, quad pressing back, tuck the cheek under, adding the back bend. Heart opener, hip opener, breathe. Lowering the arms, shift your weight back, coming on that front heel. And maybe glide quad, find your placement for your hands. And then at the end of the fold, tuck your chin, crown reaching towards toes. Checking into the equal weight distribution of the hips. And this is an intense opening for that hamstring. So if you need to have a little bend in the left knee, feel free to do so. Bring the left knee back. We find ourselves back to all fours. So we're coming into our first downward dog. Curl those toes under and let's lift our hips high and find our first downward dog. So I concentrate first on my sit bones lifting towards ceiling. Feel how that aids in opening up the hamstrings a little bit more. Then check into all 10 finger pads equally pressing into your mat. That energizes your arms, shoulders away from the ears. Instead, think of hugging them in center. And then think of lengthening the torso, ribs lifting off the pelvis. Lower just your right heel down. Feel that calf stretch. Lift the right, lower the left. And then let's pedal the feet. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. And if it's available, lowering both heels down. Downward dog, stretching the entire posterior side of your body. If you get fatigued or dizzy in this or any other pose, you always have the option of bringing your knees down the mat, move into child's pose whenever you need it. Let's go ahead, bend the knees, bring the gaze forward, walk your feet towards your hands, and then hand to elbow, and hang like a rag doll. So this is where I check into the four corners of the feet, I call it. Big toe, pinky toe of the ball of the foot, inner and outer heel. Try to get that weight evenly distributed, and then check in with your knees. You always want to recommend at least a micro bend of the knees. Feels perfect for you. And then let's sway those arms gently, side to side. Feel how that aids in opening up the hamstrings and hips. Nice rocking motion for our spine and with these heavy arms, a different kind of stretch for those shoulders. Bringing it center. The head is the last to left. And we're going to roll the shoulders back. So one thing I didn't concentrate on was kind of the opening of the chest, shoulders. So we're going to do that standing. And this is something I do once a month. So you are so lucky you came today, but it's hard, okay? But I give you ways out. I always give you ways out, okay? So you don't have to do the hard way. First one's easy, okay? This is gonna be easy. Pretend you got one of those yoga blocks between your knees, and we're gonna tee out the arms. I'm gonna rotate towards that gym wall. What I don't wanna see is the hips and the knees moving. I want them staying facing forward. We're gonna isolate our obliques and we'll also be getting our chest, shoulder at the same time. So tee out those arms, take an inhale, hug that imaginary yoga block and rotate towards that gym wall. Just go as far as you can go without the hip moving, without the knee moving, particularly the right side, all right? Right fingertips reaching towards the back wall. Left fingertips reaching towards the mirror. Isn't that crazy? How you just add this awareness. It's so cool about yoga. I love it. It opens things up. And then inhale, bring it center. And exhale, rotate to the cabinet wall. So hug that yoga block. Don't let the left hip or the left knee to our gaze is over towards that cabinet wall. Okay, so we've gone as far as we can go. Now, fingertips reaching to the opposite walls. Left fingertips to back wall, right fingertips to mirror. Breathe. And then inhale, bring it center. Exhale, lower. Okay, so put that in your back burner. Okay, come more to the top of your mat. Take a big inhale. So I'm going to keep my left foot here and I'm going to bring my right foot back. And if you're going for the harder option, it is a runner's lunge, meaning that leg is way back there. You got a deep bend in the knee. Let me show you the three options that you're going to have. So easiest is bringing the knee down, and this would be your crescent lunge. It's safe, and then we're going to add on the arms. Okay, that's always an hardest, but you can bring the foot in a little bit. And it's less of a lunge, right? This knee is bent less. It's easier to handle. Oh, squeeze inner thighs, find your foot placement. Exhale, lift the arms up and find your crescent lunge. So knee down, great option, right? Just do it, it's okay. Tee out the arms. With tail, rotate. And see, you don't have to worry about your hips or knees now, huh? You have no option but to stay forward. Now, reach the fingertips opposite walls. Inhale, bring it center. Exhale, rotate to the cabinet wall. Bring it back center. Take a step in with this back leg. Find pyramid pose. Abdomen is close to quad. I'm tucking my chin, crown reaching toward toes. Great job on the other side. Aren't you excited you came today? Right foot comes to left. Left foot. And you're saying, I thought this was gentle yoga. I do promise I only do this once a month. Okay, so do you want runner's lunge? Do you want the knee down? Do you want the foot in a little bit? As we come up, think of squeezing inner thighs towards each other. Exhale, lift the arms. Crescent lunge. Tee out the arms. Exhale, rotate to cabinet wall. Once you're there, think of those arms reaching to the opposite walls. Shoulders are down the back, of course, right? Inhale, bring it center. Exhale, rotate to the gym wall. Once you find your full rotation, think of energizing those arms away from each other. Inhale, bring it center. Take a step in with that back leg and find pyramid. Left foot comes to meet right, forward bend, and bend the knees, and let's roll on up. Head is the last to lift. Roll those shoulders back. Oh, and we're ready to do some standing postures. We're going to go into the warrior poses. So we'll have the right toes facing the gym mirror wall. Okay. Left toes facing the cabinet wall. Right heel in line with left wall. Float the arms up to 9 and 3. Bend that right knee. Find your warrior 2. So here's the deal. You get to decide how deep you go in that lunge. Okay. But what tends to happen for some reason, knee wants to fall in. Use your abductor to press it out. You have to be able to see your toes. Stance is too short. The knee goes past the toes, not good for the knee. So it's a little wide. Shoulders are down the back, arms reaching away. Left quad pushing into the hip socket. Tuck the cheek under, yeah. So left leg's trying to stay straight as possible. Beautiful, everybody. Straightening the leg, lower the arms. Right toe facing cabinet wall, left toe facing back wall. Float the arms to 9 and 3. Bend that left knee. Check in with the shoulders, they're down the back. That knee gently pressing out. Can you see your toes? Front right quad pressing into that hip socket. Tuck the cheek under. That leg as straight as possible. Try not to lean towards that back wall. Keep ears over shoulders. Straightening that left leg. Lower the arms. Left toes facing mirror. So make a slight adjustment for this next pose. These toes have them turn in about a 45-degree angle. Hands on hips. Hips rotate towards that mirror wall. Then I know where they are in space. Shouldn't feel lower back issue here with this pose, okay? Bend that front knee, energize the arms. It's warrior 1. Let's have our palms face forward. My right palm is going to be in front of my left, and I'm going to press to the back wall. So by the way, we get kind of turned around like, what's my right, what's my left? It's the same hand that's in front, the leg that's in front, okay? So we face the other wall if you get confused. Spiral effect coming up that back leg. Think of the ribs lifting off the pelvis. Beautiful. Straighten that right leg, release the arms and lower. Right toes initially facing the cabinet wall, left toes face the back wall. Then let's take the right toes, turn it in that 45-degree angle, hands on hips, rotate the hips to that back wall. Beautiful. Bend that left knee, energize the arms first. There's our warrior 1. And then have your palms face that back wall, and now have your left hand come in front of your right. Press towards the inner wall. Gently feeling that, feel that spiral effect coming up that leg. So much going on. Straighten that left leg, release the arms and lower. Left toes face cabinet wall, right toes face mirror wall. Float the arms up to 9 and 3, bend that right knee. We've been here before, warrior two. We're moving through to warrior three, which takes balance. So I'm gonna give you steps to get there. Left hand coming to me right. Hinge from the waist and find a focal point, a drishti on your mat, putting weight into this front leg. Now you can launch the back leg, but you don't have to. You can drag it and then lift. Even if you're 2 inches off the mat, you're balancing, right? So if you can bring it in line with your hip, awesome. Toes face your mat, maybe. That balances out the hips. And then maybe the hands reach towards the mirror wall. Warrior three. Bend that right knee, place that left foot down, open the arms, and lower. Right toes facing cabinet wall. Left toes facing back wall. Okay, so we lifted that back leg. So let's make sure the heel is in line with the arch. The left heel in line with the right arch. Float the arms up to 9 and 3. Bend that left knee. Now let's bring right hand to meet the left. Hinge from the waist. Find your drishti. Weight on that left leg. Drag and then lift or launch. Height doesn't matter, right? First, find your balance. And if you can, go into that leg in line with hip. Eventually, like to have the toes facing your mat because it does square off your hips. And you can once again think of the arms reaching towards the back wall and the heel reaching towards the mirror. Bend that left knee, place that right foot down, open the arms, and lower. So left toes initially facing the cabinet wall, right toes facing forward. Take a step in with this back leg, and you can interlace the fingers behind the back, and I'll bring the gaze up, and exhale, fold over that right leg for pyramid one more time. Abdomen is close to quad. Tuck the chin, crown reaching towards toes. And then if it's available, think of lifting the arms towards ceiling. And if you're flexible enough, pass ceiling towards mirror, maybe. Maybe. The hands, place them on either side of that right foot, and then take a step back to the right and to the left, find downward dog. Lift your left leg, swing it through to come between the hands, the top of your mat, and then come stand. So now the left toes are facing the mirror, and the right toes are going to be facing the gym wall. And a slight change, have your heels in line with each other, and then hands on the hips will be facing that gym wall. We're coming into triangle pose, which is another pose that I just take a little extra step with to protect our lower back. It's warrior one, and triangle can give us a little bit of twinging in the lower back. So just take a little extra precaution. Float the arms up to 9. 3. Shift that hand lands and just see what that feels like on your lower back. If you ever come in, you're doing a lot of gardening, you just feel a little twingy, feel free to be there. But the second part of the pose is coming into this hip. So I just kind of always check out, can my knee turn a little bit more to the mirror wall and can maybe sink in. Don't force it, just see what happens. And then the last part of the pose is bringing the gaze up to that outstretched right hand. And if that doesn't feel good on your neck, please don't do it. Look straight ahead or even look down. Slowly come in. Lower the arms down. Let's have the left toe face the gym, right toe face the back wall. Float the arms up to 9 and 3. Shift the left hip to mirror wall. Reach to the back wall. Windmill the arms. See where it lands. See what it feels like. And check out, can you go a little deeper into that right hip? And then can the gaze come up to that outstretched left hand? Slowly coming out of that pose, reaching for the top fingertips. So let's come on up and lower. Let's have the right toes face the gym, left toes face the mirror. Revolving triangle is the next pose. For those of you who would like to have a block, have it handy. Float the arms up, shift the right hip, reach windmill, find the triangle, and then taking the top hand and coming down, maybe to your shin, maybe on a block, maybe on a mat, and then float the left arm up, maybe in line with your shoulder, and maybe the gaze follows it. And the palm should be facing the wall behind you, which is your cabinet wall. Now, if that long lever arm does not feel good on the shoulder, just place it on your sacrum. Get rid of that long lever. That should help get rid of any twinging. Lower that left arm, inhale, lift with the right, come back out of it, lower the arms down. Let's have the left toes face the gym, right toes face the back wall, float the arms up, shift the left hip, reach windmill, triangle, top hand, coming down to your shin, block, mat, float the right arm up, maybe in line with maybe palm to sacrum, maybe gaze follows it, palm facing the cabinet wall, the wall behind you. Find your breath, make sure you're okay in the pose you've chosen. Let's lower that right arm, inhale, lift with the left to come back out of it, lower the arms down. One more pose, let's have the right toes face the gym, left toes face the mirror, bend this front knee, forearm resting on your quad, and bring that right arm overhead, standing lateral bend it's called. And we're gonna do a nice shoulder opener with some movement. It's called wiping the table. Take an inhale, and on the exhale, wipe the table in front of you, and bring it up over that ear. Do that again, wipe the table, inhale left. One more time. Exhale, wipe the table, inhale left, we'll hold it here, wait for the exhale, take another inhale, and on the exhale, lower to your side body and wipe the table in the other direction. Lower to your side body and wipe the table, and lower to your side body and wipe the table. Big inhale, lift. I'm going to place the right hand on right leg. Float the left arm up. It's called reverse triangle. Maybe the gaze is up. Reach the top left fingertips and lower that arm down. Let's have the left toes face the gym, right toes face the back wall. Bend that right knee, forearm resting on the quad, and bring the left arm overhead. Once again, standing lateral bend. Just take note how that's a nice side body opener. So if triangle doesn't feel good, this is always a nice little option, okay? Take an inhale and exhale, wipe that table. And now bring it up. Exhale, wipe that table. Not quite full circumduction, but it's a good opening of that shoulder. Let's hold it here, waiting for the exhale, and then inhale. Exhale, lower to your side body and wipe the table. And lower to your side body and wipe the table. And lower to your side body. Wipe the table. Big inhale, lift. Left hand on left leg. I'm straightening the right leg. And then right arm coming up, reverse triangle. Reach the fingertips and lower. So let's have the right toes face the gym initially, left toes face the mirror, and then we'll take a step in with this back leg. So our feet are in cross-country skiing tracks, okay? So we can interlace, like we did before, to make a change if you want, hand to elbow, hand to elbow. A little tougher to do if you've got the flexibility in that shoulder joint. Namaste behind the back. Inhale, bring the gaze up, and exhale, fold over that left leg. Pyramid on this side.
Release the hands, place them on either side of that left foot. Take a step back, lift the left and the right, downward dog. And then let's walk our hands to our feet. And then the knees. Let's slowly roll on up. That is the last lift. And we roll the shoulders back. And we're all ready for our balance pose. So if you need to be by a wall, you're just not sure of your balance, please do that. Just fingertip on a wall. And I got some plans for us when we get back down on the mat, okay? So, I'm nice though, they're nice plans. All right, so wait on that left leg. By the way, so dancer, you're supposed to grab the inside of the foot. If you're still kind of working on your balance, and you're so used to doing that quad stretch where you grab the outside of the foot, go for it. You know, do what you need to do. But then homework is to try to grab the inside, okay? So wait on that left leg, strong left arm. I'm serving a tray with the right. I'm gonna find my focal point. Remember, bundas, pulling belly button in, right? Lift that left leg, grab the inside of the left foot and bring your knees together to touch. And maybe that's your dancer. To add on, that's balance, right? So it's all good. To add on, the crown and the heel start lifting toward the ceiling. And then maybe that foot pushes into hand. And then lower the knee, release the foot, and breath center. Weight on that right leg, strong right arm, serving a tray with the left. Grabbing the inside of the left foot, knees together. Maybe you're staying here. Maybe crown and heel start lifting towards ceiling. Maybe foot pushes into hand. Lower that knee, release the foot. Breath center. If you've left your mat, come on back. Big inhale. Exhale, fold. Standing forward bend. And then cup the hands over the ears, tuck your chin so the crown faces the mat, and let the head and the jaw and the arms all go heavy. Feel that immediate added stretch for the neck, checking into the four corners of the feet, right? Get that equal weight, feel how that can adjust the stretch for your hamstrings. And as you continue to hang here, almost sense your spine growing longer. Release the hands. Let's bring our knees down to the mat. And let's find child's pose. So lots of options. You might like having your knees close together. I like having mine wide on the mat. My sit bones are reaching towards my heels. Forehead can be on the mat. That might not feel good on your neck. If that's the case, stack your hands or use a block. You can have palms up on either side of the body, actually designed to put more pressure on that third eye area. Might not feel good. Palms down, reaching overhead, probably the most common. And I was trained to call this devotional, but it's a form of child's pose. Just find what's right for you today. It should be relaxing, and you should be able to take that nice, long, deep breath. Get reacquainted with that breath. And then we're going to come up to all fours. We're going to do that back exercise. And we did it on Monday, right? But now we're going to add a little different options. We did a little bit of kind of ab work on Monday with it. So we start out basic and then we add on, okay? First of all, if you need cushioning for your knees, please fold that mat, double fold, okay? And then let's lift the right arm and your left leg. And then I want you to think of those limbs reaching away from each other. Then think of balancing out the hips. So don't let that glute hike up or sag down, right? You got a glass of water on that sacrum. Then pay attention to the limbs that are holding you up. That's strength. Lower the limbs down. So we hold it for a reason, right? You're finding out all the things that happen when we do this. Lengthen the left arm and the right leg. Lengthen first. Balance out the hips. Take notice of the strength of those opposite limbs. Also notice your oblique system, right? That's helping hold you too. Lower the limbs down. With the breath, opposite arm and leg, lift and lower. And lift and lower. Now with this movement, see if you can notice that the muscles that follow the spine contract. That's why they call this a back exercise. But guys, this is the way we walk. This is our gait. So as that right foot comes forward, our left arm should be swinging forward. We get injuries, and all of a sudden we find ourselves kind of out of that rhythm. It's really nice to open up that nerve pathway. Okay, let's do one more each side. Nice flow with the breath. Okay, I'm gonna get mean. All right, lift right arm, left leg. Bend the knee, the left knee. Now this is optional. You can hold the pose here, but if you can, right hand grabs left foot, and then maybe left foot pushes into the hand. So kind of a kneeling dancer twist, huh? Gently release and bring it back down. Left arm, right leg, bend the knee, left hand, and don't be afraid to have that gaze follow. That actually helps a lot of times. Grab the foot if it's available. Maybe it feels okay to push that foot into the hand. You're holding symmetrically. Beautiful, everybody. Gently release. Bring the knee down. And let's find devotional or child's pose. Sit bones reaching back. Fingertips reaching forward. Let's come on our abdomen with the right ear down. Palms up on either side of the body. So this is designed to be a neck stretch. It might be too intense. If it is, place your right forearm underneath that ear. You could also use a block. If that still does not feel good to turn that forward, then stack your hands, forehead on stacked hands. Please don't force it, okay? And then let's switch sides. Left ear on the mat. Chin on the mat. Hands come directly underneath your shoulders, coming into cobra pose. So think of zipping those legs together, belly button in, pelvis pushing into your mat. Hover the hands an inch or two off the mat and hug those elbows in. Inhale, reach through the crown of the head and just think of trying to lift the chest. Try not to use your chin with the lift. And then once you got that chest lifted as best you can, not a big movement, think of squeezing the shoulder blades a little bit closer together. You might get a fraction of an inch lift. That is back extension. Another back exercise. Release, right ear down. Chin on the mat, bend your knees, bottoms of your feet facing the ceiling. I'm going to show modified bow pose first. If you have lower back issues, that's what I want you to stay with, okay? Inhale, lift the chest, lift the knees, energize the arms. If you can, grabbing feet, ankles. Coming into full bow. Maybe feet push into hands. Gently release. Finish the neck stretch first. Left ear down on the mat. And press back on devotional. Sit bones reaching towards heels. Fingertips reaching forward. Stretch out that spine. And then come up to all fours. So here's where we go to our hip opener. And we are going to come into half pigeon and sleeping pigeon. I know I've got a couple of new people. So I want to show you an option if this doesn't feel good. It's called figure 4. We did it on Monday. So I alternate. This is supine figure 4. And then this is adding legs up in the air. Okay, with the figure 4 position. So we're going to do 2 poses, half pigeon and sleeping pigeon. So you can do those 2 poses with each leg if you prefer. I'll be watching and see if anybody needs help, okay? Otherwise, from all fours, let's come up into downward dog. And we're going to lift the right leg. And think of bringing the knee, not the foot, the right knee through. Try to bring it to your right wrist. Right knee to right wrist. And then left leg reaches back. And then we kind of sink into this hip opener. So that's half pigeon. Now I've only added this because several of you can do it. Please don't feel like you have to. This is not gentle. Okay. Got that quad opener availability. You go there. And then sleeping pigeon is coming onto your forearms. And you're checking out, is that as deep as I can go? Can I stack fists or hands? Can I come all the way down and reach towards the mirror? Once you feel like you're in your deepest hip opener, check in with your breath first. Are you hindered? If you are, back out of it. Check in with the shoulders. They should be down the back. And with hip openers, for some reason, we tend to clench our jaw. Have a soft jaw. Lift the head, walk the hands back, curl back on that back toe, press back into downward dog. And we're going to do 3 leg circles up in the air with that same leg. If you have done figure 4 on your back, you can still do 3 leg circles in one direction and 3 in the other direction. Lower that leg down, lift the other leg up, and now think of bringing the left knee through to left wrist, and then right toes reaching back. And then we're going to sink into the hip. That's half pigeon. This leg can be diagonal, a little harder, more perpendicular. And like I said, if you got it, you want to add that on, I will let you because I'm so nice, right? And then we're going on our forearms, finding our sleeping pigeon, whatever that is for you, stacked hands, forearms, or maybe right all the way down on your mat. Check in with your breath, your shoulders, and soft jaw. Lift the head, walk the hands back, curl that toe under, press back into downward dog, lift the left leg, 3 leg circles in one direction, and 3 in the other. Lower that leg down, bring your knees down, and let's come on your back. Give your knees a hug. Rock them a little bit side to side, giving that lower back a good rub. Rotate the ankles a few times in one direction and a few times in the other. And then let's place our feet down on our mat for our bridge pose. So bring the heels in as close to the glutes as possible. Think equal weight distribution on your feet, but also your shoulder blades pressing down into your mat, right? And not up towards your ears, right? Press them down into the mat. Take an inhale, and on your next exhale, peel your spine up to find bridge pose. And you can choose to keep the arms down at your side on the mat, to go just a little deeper into the pose. Interlace your fingers underneath the body. And then I just do a one-time shifting of my shoulders under me, and it just lifts a few more of that upper back, that thoracic vertebra. Arms are energized towards your heels. Pelvis presses up. Knees reach away. And breathe. Release the arms. Roll the spine down. I'm going to ask you to bring your right knee into your chest. Lower your left leg down. So this was what I was thinking of, because we did a lot of quad opening. This is a great hamstring opener. I mean, we've already done some, but this one's really good. So we're starting with our hands resting on our shin. And as we hug that knee in, you feel the stretch in the hamstring, you feel it in the glutes. It's actually a classic lower back stretch. Okay, now place the hands on the hamstring itself. That's the back of the thigh. And I'm going to ask you to keep this just gentle pressure against that hamstring, okay? Flex your foot, and with your next exhale, press through your heel towards the ceiling. And then inhale, lower back down, bend the knee. Keep the pressure. Exhale, so press against that pressure. You might even find a little shaking going on. That's okay. That means it's working. Inhale, slowly bring it down. Couple more times. Exhale, press through that resistance. Inhale, slowly lower. Here's our last one. Exhale, press through the resistance. And let's hold it here, but keep the pressure. Inhale. Exhale. Release the pressure, resistance, and hold your static stretch. So wherever you can hold and still feel the stretch, whether it's calf, ankle. In yoga, we do a toe grasp deal, if you'd like to add that on. So now is our static hamstring stretch. And then bend the knee and place the bottom of the foot on the opposite thigh. So right foot is on left thigh. It's my right knee that's going to go across body. So I have my right arm out in the T, and my left hand is going to guide that knee across body. Really nice lower back stretch, spinal twist. Reach through the fingertips and get the chest opening as well. So nice. Breathe. And then let's bring both knees to the chest. And take notice that right knee is probably closer to your chest than your left. So now we want to balance that out. Hug the left knee, lower the right leg down. I'm starting with my hands on my shin. And I'm adding gentle pressure. Now place the hands on the hamstring itself. Continue with that added gentle pressure. Take an inhale. And on the exhale, press that heel up to ceiling, trying to straighten the leg. And then inhale, slowly lower it back down. Exhale, press against that resistance. Inhale, slowly lower. A couple more times. Exhale, press. Inhale, lower. Here's our last one. Exhale, press against the resistance. And now let's hold that with the breath. Inhale. Exhale. Release the gentle resistance and hold now your static stretch. whether you're holding your calf, ankle, or that big toe grasp. So what that's called is PNF stretching. That adding that resistance against an active stretch like that sends messages to the brain to elongate that muscle. I find it very effective. I feel like it really gives me a little added stretch. Place the left foot, bottom of the foot, on the right thigh. My left arm is out in a T, and my right hand is going to guide that knee across my body. Turn the head away from that knee. Reach to the left fingertips. And breathe. Let's bring the knees up. Hopefully they're balanced. Bring the feet down to your mat, and let's find Shavasana, relaxation. Feel free to keep the knees bent if you prefer. I like straightening my legs. Palms up. Adjust anything you need to. You know, if you need to rock your shoulders, rock your head, do whatever you need. And let's find that wonderful breath again. In through the nose. Exhale out through the nose, but try to have the breath be effortless at this part of practice. And imagine that you are able to direct the oxygen as it enters your body and let it flow all the way down to your toes, the balls of your feet, the arches, the heels, the ankles. Let the feet fall heavy on your mat. Allow the oxygen to flow into your calves and shins, knees, quads, hamstrings. Let the legs fall heavy. Allow the oxygen to flow into the glutes, the small of your back, your lats spreading wide, shoulders beginning to release. Any tension in the abdomen subsiding as the chest opens, the shoulders just let go. Allow the oxygen to flow into the biceps and triceps, elbows, forearms, all the way into those fingertips. Allow the oxygen to flow up the back of the neck, around the skull to your brow. Soft eyes, heavy jaw, soft throat. Allow that body to bathe in that oxygen. Let it cleanse you. Almost sense that oxygen nourishing every cell of your body. And allow that oxygen to linger in areas of concern. Begin the healing process. And just taking notice how peaceful and relaxed you feel. Know that you got here only by recognizing your personal breath, your individual breath. Great tool to use anytime you're stressed during the day. And then another great tool, remember that person you started your practice with. You're so grateful to have this person in your life. Cherish this person. So stressed out, take a moment. Remember your breath and remember how grateful you are. Little food for thought. Do all the good you can by all the means you can, in all the ways you can, and all the places you can. That's a lot. But it's a good motto to live by. I'll say it again. Do all the good you can, by all the means you can, in all the ways you can, and in all the places you can. With your next breath, wiggling fingers and toes, bringing awareness back. And with your next breath, bringing your knees into your chest, give them a hug. Allow them to seated position with your hands at your heart center. Greeting in India, short translation, the light, the love in me salutes and honors the light and love in each and every one of you. Namaste. Have a great one, guys. Thanks so much for coming. I was a little tough on you today. I'm first gonna end